What's going on? This is Big G from G Riders, and welcome to another episode of Testing Rides. Today, I'm going to be testing out the 2017 Dodge Durango RT. Welcome to the 2017 Dodge Durango. First introduced in 2011, the Dodge Durango was completely redesigned from the ground up on an all-new platform used in their SUVs. So, the Dodge Durango went from a body-on-frame SUV to a crossover. But, most importantly, this crossover is rear-wheel drive if it is not all-wheel drive. So, that made this the enthusiast family crossover. So this vehicle is the Dodge Charger of SUVs. I say it's the Dodge Charger of SUVs because it comes with the same 5.7 liter V8 Hemi engine that you can get in the RT and that you can get in the RT Charger. So in this vehicle, it has 360 horsepower and 390 foot-pounds of torque, just 10 less horsepower than the Dodge Charger and Challenger RTs. And honestly, I think it makes a little bit less power because of the all-wheel drive system, and they haven't figured out how to put more power to the all-wheel drive system, or maybe they just didn't want to do that for the vehicle. So, because this car has a 5.7 liter V8, it weighs 5,200 pounds, this car only gets a decent 14 in the city and 22 out on the highway. And that's mainly because it has the ZF8-speed transmission. This vehicle cruises at 70 miles an hour at about 2,000 or less RPMs, actually more like 1,800 RPM. So since this vehicle is kind of one of the higher trim levels, this is one step from the top of line. The top of line is the Citadel. This vehicle starts at about $44,000 with the all-wheel drive and $42,000 with rear-wheel drive. So the only option the vehicle I have here is the sunroof up above, which brings this vehicle just over $45,000. So why do I call this the Dodge Charger of SUVs? Because it drives just like a Dodge Charger if it was a little bit lifted, if it was lifted a little bit higher and had a third row seat and had all-wheel drive. This thing is fantastic to drive. See, that noise right there is the same noise that the Charger RT makes, just a little bit quieter. And I wish this vehicle had the option to do the active exhaust like you get standard on the Charger and Challenger V8s now. I think that'd be a cool option to have on an SUV like this, because most people buying this type of SUV, they love the Dodge Charger, they love the Dodge Challenger, but they might have a family, so they need the 7-seat configuration. I know this is not like the SRT Durango or nothing like that, but I think this still needs the exhaust system. If you're thinking, oh, hey, Big G, 45 grand, that's kind of expensive for the SUV. And I'll say, if you don't care about having the V8 engine, you can get the V6 engine in here on the SXT base model, starting at a little bit over $30,000. So you can get into this badass family SUV for the $30,000 range. But I highly recommend getting at least the GT trim. The GT trim is is two above the base model. The GT model, you get the same styling as you get on the RT trim, but you get the V6 and you get the nice interior with the navigation and all that. So that's the one I recommend getting, and that one is about $38,000. I think it's definitely worth it to get that package at least. You can have the badass Dodge Durango look, the badass Dodge Durango RT look, even if you cannot afford the Dodge Durango RT. So, right, here we are on the inside of the 2017 Dodge Durango RT, and it's a very nice place to be. It's definitely, you could definitely tell this car is over $40,000. So most of the materials in here are pretty soft touch. Like up here on the dash, it's really soft. The steering wheel is nice and soft. The dash is nice and soft. Over here where you rest your arm, where all the buttons are, it's nice and soft. You got your beautiful red stitching. Got nice stitching in the steering wheel here, and then the gauges and the gauge cluster is pretty clear and pretty configurable. Down over here in the middle, I love over here in the center with the infotainment screen, the 8.4-inch Uconnect, still one of the better infotainment systems on the market. I love the way Dodge lays out their vehicles. Well, not just Dodge, but Dodge and Chrysler products. So you got all your basic commands here. You got your radio, your media, your controls. This car does have heated and cooled seats and a heated steering wheel. And you can bring up your backup camera from your screen here. Just hit that button there and see, that's what's behind me. And one cool thing too is for the third row, if you have your third row seats up all the time, you can fold your headrest just from a push of a button right here. You hear that? That's the headrest drop, and I'll show you guys in a minute what that looks like from the back. And you also have heated and cooled passenger seats. You have all the apps here, pretty much everything that's kind of built into all these menus in one place, which is kind of nice. You got your climate control, your navigation, and then over here on the right hand corner is your Bluetooth connectivity for your phone, where you can dial numbers, read text messages, reply to text message, the whole enchilada. So down here you also have a set of buttons for the driver and passenger side, and you can adjust the basic climate control there. Down here you got your parking sensors off, your eco off, and then your sport mode, which holds it's a typical sport mode, so it holds shifts longer, all that. And then you got your traction control off. Down here, I love that instead of doing one of those stupid shifters that killed people, Dodge decided to go with the knob inside of these, which is pretty nice. I like the knob a lot. A lot of people don't. This is like the same one that comes in a Ram truck, but I really like it a lot because it's really easy to use. You don't mistake any gears. It's really nice, and it saves a lot of space up here in the center console. Down here, it's the four-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. So this vehicle, since it is the V8 model, this does have low range. So you can put it at neutral and put it in low, and you can climb up stuff, which is pretty nice. And then the normal mode that it's always on is all-wheel drive auto, and it works really well. You got some nice size cup holders here. You can fit a nice big large Starbucks drink in there. And then here on the steering wheel, you got some nice metal filling paddle shifters, which is really nice. I love that Dodge have put paddle shifters on this vehicle, because this vehicle is like the but this vehicle is like the Charger SUV. So it has a very sporty driving dynamic and a nice, strong, powerful V8 Hemi engine under the hood. So you can shift that 8-speed ZF transmission through these paddle shifters here, and they're pretty quick to react. The seats feel fantastic in this vehicle. So these are leather seats, and it has the sick red stitching on here. And then if you look there, it says RT embroidered into the seats, which add some attitude to this interior. It makes you feel like you're driving a Dodge Charger, but you got a third row in the back, which is exactly what I think what they were going for with this vehicle, and they accomplished it very well. But up here in the front of the cabin of the Dodge Durango RT, it's a very nice place to be. Its materials are decently high. There's a couple cheap plastics. There's that, but you're not going to touch that at all. So honestly, for what you're getting in this vehicle, there's no need to have a soft touch material right here. This is not a $100,000 luxury vehicle. This is a $45,000 family SUV, and this is one of the most badass family SUVs that you can get out there. Let's take a look at the back. All right. All right, here I am in the back seat, and I'm not going to close the door because it's a little bit warm today, but you got some AC controls here. You got vents up there where you can control the temperature. You got some nice USB ports. You got a 3-prong outlet in the back here, and these seats do recline, which is really nice for long trips and people that have to ride in the back seat. I have the seat up a little bit, and this is where a normal person drive, and I'm over 6'1" and over 300 pounds, and I fit back here pretty nicely. It's really nice. You can put your feet under the seats. That's one of the things that can make a back seat extremely comfortable or very uncomfortable. All right, let's take a look at the third row. I'm not getting back there, but I'll still show it to you. I have all my camera equipment back here. One thing I really like about this vehicle, which would be, this would be a kind of a cool, it has some nice storage underneath. So today I have my camera equipment and my computer with me, and I have it stored out of sight and out of mind. So if I do have to park somewhere and go in somewhere, my stuff is safe. So to put the third row seat up, just pull that handle there, pop that headrest up, and you got a charger back here. And to get into the third row, all you have to do, grab that and then tilt it up, and there you go. There's a decent amount of leg space back here. It's not the biggest third row I've seen in a crossover like this, but it's definitely adequate. And then you also got some vents back there too. All right, let's see how this bad boy drives. How does this thing drive? Well, honestly, it drives like a lifted 5,200 pound Dodge Charger RT. What do I mean by that? All right, we're about to go around some turns here. So when you hustle this thing around corners, it does have some body roll, but the body roll is not crazy ridiculous like you will find in a normal family crossover like this. So this has a kind of a stiffer ride. It has a stiffer sporty ride, but the ride is not uncomfortable. It's just more of a sportier ride than a luxury comfortable ride, which in my opinion I really like. And even I'm not a father yet, but I definitely would own this vehicle now. If I mean, I like the Charger and I like the Challenger RT, but this vehicle offers both the same badass attitude that those vehicles have, and it has some practicality and utility with all the space you got in the back, all the space you got in the back seat. If you put all the seats down, you got a ton of space. I don't know the exact number. I'm gonna put the exact number up right now. Boom, you have all that space, and you still get the same badass Dodge Challenger Charger attitude in an SUV. So this vehicle weighs 5,200 pounds, and this vehicle has 360 horsepower and weighs 5,200 pounds. What does that mean for acceleration? Well, I can tell you this vehicle is not that fast. I mean, 0 to 60 time is about 6.1 seconds, which is not too bad for a vehicle this big, but I definitely think this vehicle could use a little bit more power, because there are some points in the revs where it feels a little bit sluggish. I mean, I know you get the instant torque from the V8, but there's definitely some points where it feels a little bit sluggish. And I don't know if that's having to do with the transmission or just kind of the way the engine spools up. But I just think it needs probably another 40 horsepower or so to put it kind of in the 400 range to give it the acceleration of like a Dodge Challenger or Charger. That's just my opinion. I took this vehicle on a nice long 200-mile round trip, and this thing was quiet, comfortable, didn't have me tired afterwards. You have all the power you need when you're passing. You have the comfort of the cooled seats in a hot summer day here. Every nice sound system. You got a subwoofer in the trunk that beats pretty hard, and this is just a quiet, comfortable, I would say almost luxury SUV, even though it's not technically a luxury vehicle. This vehicle definitely offers some luxury. I mean, for $45,000, that kind of puts you in the price range of some semi-luxury vehicles. I've been raving about this SUV. Are there some things I don't like about it? Well, yeah, couple of things I don't like about it is the fact that it weighs 5,200 pounds, which, you know, if you know about Ram trucks, that's more than some of their trucks. And for crying out loud, it's a freaking pickup truck. It should, like, this shouldn't weigh more than a pickup truck. And because it's so heavy, the gas mileage isn't great. Like 14 in the city, 22 on the highway, that's not good among all the rest of the family crossovers. Yes, the other family crossovers don't have the attitude, doesn't have the power, the speed that this Dodge does, but it's just kind of ridiculous. All the fuel economy things that I talked about, all this, like, compared it to all the family SUVs, forget about that. Go drive it, because once you drive it, that's when you feel what this SUV is really about. This is kind of a semi-enthusiast American. This SUV is the enthusiast choice American SUV, because I know all the Germans and European SUVs, they drive like this, but this is the one American SUV that does drive like this. But you know what? I absolutely love this SUV. This thing is so much fun to drive. I love the commanding view of the road. I love the engine noise. I love the way that the shifts rattle off in this thing. They're just so aggressive for an SUV like this. The first time I drove one of these RT Dodge Durangos, I didn't expect it to have the same kind of personality as the Charger and Challenger RT, which I've driven both of them. So what I think about the Dodge Durango SUV here. So the Dodge Durango is a fantastic family SUV. It's fast, it's fun, it has the Charger personality, and it's just a fantastic SUV here. So what are some things I don't like about it? I don't like it weighs 5,200 pounds. I do not like that it gets 14 in the city, 22 on the highway. But you know what? You completely forget about it when you drive this vehicle, because this vehicle has the same personality as the Charger and Challenger that it's kind of based on. And for that, I definitely think you should buy this vehicle. For $45,000, V8 engine, Charger attitude, this vehicle is definitely worth the money. So, if you like this video, hit me with a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and keep riding with me. Thanks for watching. And remember, videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Hey.